Per the article, Democratic support's been centered around the idea that economic injustice reform for people, many of whom are minorities, who've been incarcerated or otherwise negatively affected by the illegal and racist war on drugs in the U.S. That the U.S. chose to wage on Black and Brown communities over the last 50 years. Senator Warnock said that he was deeply troubled the committee was even voting on the bill at this time, asking his colleagues, why this bill and why now? He said he finds it a tragic irony that it's even being called safer banking bill. These are his words. Who does this safer bill make safer? Certainly not the millions of Americans locked up for nonviolent drug offenses since President Nixon declared war on drugs 50 years ago. Warnock went on to argue that he'd only support SAFER if broader cannabis reforms were also included, and the bill did not solely focus on the bankers and big businesses who could make money from the change. Bruce Barcott, author of Weed the People, The Future of Legal Marijuana in America, and Shailene Title, director of Parabola Center for Law and Policy, wrote in an op-ed that if the trend continues, cannabis industry might also soon resemble America's beer industry, a market dominated by a handful of global corporations, with small businesses competing for an ever-shrinking slice of the pie. Congress and the White House don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are simple questions available. Small businesses could be allowed to engage in interstate commerce now before Amazon and before Philip Morris even get into the industry. They could be allowed to access to grants and loans. Even safer, a modest banking reform measure could give America's state licensed, tax-paying, and law-abiding small cannabis companies a fair shot at success if it was amended to allow for SBA loans. So we're hearing a lot of the same arguments on both sides, just with different players now voicing their opinions. This leads me to the conclusion that I've had now for safe banking on 2 years going steady. No flip-flopping, Jason. This whole safe banking or the new and improved safer banking, this whole thing ain't gonna pass. It's a waste of time, and it's a distraction to minority-owned and small businesses that genuinely think its passage will help them out or the communities that they represent. It will help the industry as a whole, but despite what revisionist historians everywhere might want you to believe, trickle down economics has never worked. Safer is just another extension of failed conservative economic policies that have only hurt our communities in the past, while pushing capitalism forward and leaving us behind to be seen by everybody as sore losers. But those are just my thoughts. I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks on this one. Safer banking. Is it the same shit, different toilet? Or are Warnock and Shailene Title dead wrong on this one? I'm Rico Lamite, the dopest dad on the street. High 9 News.
Okay, they are not dead wrong. Obviously, the biggest elephant in the room is the fact that there's no social justice component of this bill. They're not wrong, but they're wrong to try to put it in this finance bill. Like, that's what COA is for. That's what these other bills are for. And the fact that this is the first time that we've heard from Warnock, like you mentioned, after 2 years of this bill trying to get passed, I am concerned that this is his first time speaking up, and Warren right behind him backing him up with what he said on Wednesday last week. I'm concerned that they're not supporting the bill is not going to give us the numbers that we need to get safer passed. I am an advocate. Of course, social justice is important to me, but I also serve right alongside of small business owners and brands that need safer to pass in order for them to stay in business. If it goes another year without safer, Black Buddha is not going to be. Those are my concerns, and that is a small Black minority-owned business that is in the space. So it won't just be the big guys that will benefit. And the big guys right now, they don't care about safer. They've got enough money to last. It's not going to affect them like it is going to affect these smaller businesses. And yes, I want a social justice component to be brought up. I want them to talk about it. But I just know that if it gets put in this bill, and we need a majority of them to do this.
I mean, hearing Senator Warnock's reasoning just goes to prove how uneducated he is in regards to this issue when he's making these types of arguments in regards to a finance bill. So I think
like
I think
feel like he's
hold on,
taking
hold
it.
on, hold on. I think
Raphael, is he
what
not taking
Raphael
Cory Booker's
Warnock
spot?
I think what Raphael Warnock needs to do is he needs to go back to his congregation and needs to go down on his knees and pray to God for a little bit of clarity so that he can understand the real issues that are going on in his community.
Well,
I think that's taking it a step too far, but
I
Jason,
don't.
I think you're the
that's
expert on this.
I
What are your
would
thoughts?
agree with Rico. I think just that statement out of Jason was a bit much. That's the only
Whatever.
part I agree with Rico.
Whatever.
As for Senator Warnock, I wholeheartedly agree with Nicole. And if this man really cared or knew anything about the issue, maybe he would hang out for a hearing about safe banking. He might have stuck around for the markup to put out his bullshit, and all of a sudden he's woke on social justice. He wasn't there for the first hearing on safe banking when they were looking at amendments. Where the fuck was he then? Fuck this guy. I'm sorry.
He
This
left.
pisses me
left.
off.
Yeah.
People who are showing up at the final hour because they want to grandstand. And again, this man has no cannabis businesses to answer to in his constituency. Why? Because Georgia can't fucking pass cannabis. So fuck him.
Hold on. Do you
Fuck
think
this
do you
bullshit?
think
This is like men who argue that women should not have the right for abortion. Fuck you. You don't have a vote in this bullshit.
Cory
Time to
Booker
talk to the actual cannabis businesses who are going to be impacted.
Do you think Cory Booker put him up
This
to
is the
this?
Gretchen Daly that I missed.
Yeah.
I
I think
missed the
I'm
Gretchen.
sorry. It got me pissed.
I think
I
Cory
was
Booker.
I was gonna start working on my swearing too, and y'all just fucked that all up.
Oh man, I think Cory Booker put Raphael Warnock.
We did that.
I think Cory Booker put Raphael Warnock up to this because he does have constituents in his states that need safe banking, and then that way he doesn't have to be the grandstander and take the brunt of the burden, and Raphael Warnock can just be that sacrificial lamb.
Because Cory Booker has become a co-sponsor of SAFE, so
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. They've switched. They've switched.
Raphael Warnock taking Cory Booker's.
Exactly.
Cory Booker's.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
This
Thank you,
is
Rico.
The exact same stance that Cory Booker took.
Exactly.
Initially,
when
he
y'all
was
start
like,
to know how Washington
die on
works,
that-
then you
I
can
will die
call
on
me.
this
I'm
hill.
tired of having arguments with people who don't know dick. What's next?
Cory Booker came out and said, I will not pass for this bill at all until it includes XYZ. And then just after they couldn't do nothing else.
And then he
came back
became
out and-
educated
back out
and
said-
informed by the smaller businesses who said,
So-
we need this. That is why Cory
So is
Booker
Rap-
has come around on this.
So is your
Not because-
prediction that Raphael Warnock will do the same thing
No,
that Cory Booker did initially?
I don't.
Will he be
What,
doing
you
the
think he's
about face
going to
too?
make a full turn in like a month? I doubt it.
Guys, when your state passes any kind of cannabis laws, and then you really get to know how much people are willing to spend and give and like donate, whatever, then you turn into a fan. Let's just let's say what it is.
Politics in America, baby. What are you guys expecting? Really?
In America.
That's right.
It hasn't been legal in Georgia long enough. There's no businesses except Truly.
Oh,
There's only big business in Georgia right now.
Let me educate you. When in the battle for a license, a lot of people come out of the woodworks. Let's just put it that way. And they have licensed, cannabis businesses there that they've granted licensure to. And as we know, in the politically windy places such as the South, like Georgia, there's going to be a lot of backdoor deals. Let's put it that way. And I bet you
just in the South, huh?
Well, no, I'm saying everywhere, but especially, places like that. Yeah, sure. Warnock's definitely been on the receiving end of some love. And so now he's, changing his tune. Simple. It's economics. It's, supply and demand, and it's quid pro quo. And he has something they want, and they have something that he has. So there it is.
Well, in absence of Raphael Warnock, if Herschel Walker were in place right here, what would Herschel Walker? What would he have said about safe banking?
He'd be supporting safe banking.
Your boy.
He'd be supporting safe banking. He'd be like, "We're gonna get a touchdown with this."
Pull-ups for banking or something. Like
no, he's gonna touchdown, bro. Touchdown, bro. That's it. Let's get it across the line. Let's score. Let's score some points. Let's get some points on the board. But we got to go. We got to keep it moving.
Would he want another park? Would he pay for the abortion of safe banking?
Oh God, we got to